Yeah.
I find it interesting, actually, how, generally speaking, you do want a damage difference in damage type between your jungler and the solo laner you're primarily ganking for. So, like, Gragas Zoe isn't as great because if LeBlanc has something like Merc Treads or a Banshee's Veil, it's harder to kill. But this says, hey, he wants to go top lane to gank for the Aatrox, whereas Smithy, compositionally, will actually pair with the LeBlanc in trying to camp mid lane. So you mentioned Aka trying to have that big game in mid lane. The jungler pick complements that.
That's going to be exciting one to watch for. First Lee Sin game of the year for Smithy. It's going to be fun to see if he can make this one happen right here as time ticks down. No surprises really in Champ Select. I think we've seen all these before, at least on those players. Camille, to me, still a bit of a delight because they don't see a ton of her, but that's always fun to see regardless. 100 Thieves and Immortals are squaring off on the Rift. Thieves off of a win from yesterday, but it was a tough one. Their early games have traditionally been very, very weak, but they found the ways back in. 6 and 7 is roughly in play position right now, so we'll see if their late game piloting can stack up well against Immortals as well, who themselves have done just as good of a job at getting themselves out of sticky situations.
Yeah, we kind of talked up both of these teams' ability to have these late game situations where the game kind of starts losing structure and then they find their way on top. What would be kind of fitting for this game is if it's just like a total slam in the game by one team. It's like, oh, yep, they just mopped the floor with them. We're not seeing that late game stuff at all. But
yeah, you get the 3-0 LeBlanc, and it's like, all right, well, split push victory, bye. Like, no team fights, 18-2 in kills.
There's a lot of things that can break open this game. There's high volatility lanes on the side of Immortals, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm generally a fan of high volatile lanes. It's going to be a fun game to watch. We are on to the Rift as 100 Thieves and Immortals are doing battle here. There's 5 games to play, counting this one for 100 Thieves. 6 left for Immortals. And with where the teams are stacked up, going up to 9 and 9, I feel like is going to get you into playoffs. Now, real quick, Now, real quick, though, we've got Tigris standing by with Ziggs.
It had to get some words from you, not just after the game yesterday, but going into a very important one, because it seems to be understood that you need the 2-0 to try and make playoffs a thing. Do you agree with that?
I mean, that would be ideal. Yeah, I feel like every game at this point matters a lot. You know, with only 5 games remaining, you know, one game can always be the difference. So we're putting our best into every single game individually and just, you know, striving for the best.
So with that considering there's a lot of backline dive potential from Immortals in this composition, what are you leaning on most with the 100 Thieves composition to try and go against that?
Yeah, so we have like more of a comp that kind of like just holds his own well. So as long as we coordinate well around like preventing their flank, I think we should be fine this game.
Okay, hold your own on the Rift and hold your own in the standings. That's what we got over here. Let's get back to the game.
Yeah, and I think to just elaborate on what Six is saying is a bit what we were saying in Champion Select, where 100 Thieves at a certain point in this game is just going to be trying to group up and hold the zones well so they can move to objectives, so they can move to a turret, so they can move to Baron, and it's going to be about containing SOAS in most of this game.
Yeah, well, he's got the first CS up in the top lane. So, yeah, he's already pushing. I mean, how could you ever come back from that one? Some days, you know, still safe enough as they play around their respective cooldowns. A little bit of damage goes back and forth as Aka is also fairly comfortable right now against Ryoma. Quick red to blue for Smithy. Gragas doing blue to Gromp, so he's going to stay on the top side for a little bit longer, but we'll see when that one starts to spread onto the bottom side. Early bot lane push went in favor of 100 Thieves. This will be level 2 coming very soon. We'll see if they get any double up poke just yet. Not at level 2 you might.
Always trying to look at the warding. So there was a ward placed at the Raptors, so basically Smithy would be a little bit suspicious that Gragas would be trying something like stealing his Raptors, but the fact that he hasn't shown as of yet, people are kind of like, I guess Gragas is full clearing blue side, and they can probably surmise it. It may be confirmed any second now when he walks over to Raptors.
Yeah, now they know as he walks around, and he goes for his red buff here. So information gathered as Meteos is finishing his sides of the clears. Half a camp lead right now for Smithy. He's taking down the Wolves. Otherwise, a fairly low impact early game, aside from the small CS leads in various lanes. So that's waves being pushed, though. So they should get most of this.
Whenever I'm doing clear like Meteos did, where you're like full clearing a blue side before going over your buff, there's always this sense of relief when the other jungler hasn't gotten first blood yet.
Yeah.
But then you go bot, and we'll see what happens here.
Ooh, not going to land the sleep either. That's Ramble walking away cleanly enough. The attempted ward hop play doesn't quite land with anything. But Soaz actually, with the early topside push, I really do enjoy things like that, where he's able to run down to the top river, start up the Scuttle Crab. We'll see if he gives it to Lee Sin or not, or if Soaz wants the gold for himself.
Usually this early, the Scuttle Crab will definitely go over to the jungler. He's really benefiting more from the bonus experience he gets from his jungle item for killing jungle camps really early on, and you don't want your jungler to have a level disadvantage this early, because that can actually just be GG. Whereas top laners being like one creep up at level 4 isn't as important.
Shout out Soaz for getting, basically leashing, I guess not twice. I don't think he leashed the red very hard for Xmithie, but leashed the Scuttle Crab to save him like 5 seconds, second time around. So, you know, if you don't gank from after that, really what are you doing, Xmithie? He leashed Scuttle for you, okay? He didn't steal it.
Yeah, well, actually, Xmithie does need to go up here with the wave pushing towards him. If somebody wants to get this wave in and not have it frozen on him, he's got to be risky. That's what that ward is for, so immediately has to fall away, and there's a good chance this wave could actually freeze on Sunday. Goes aggressive as his jungler is arriving, so really just both junglers pulling up, like the gravity of top lane minion waves early, doing their work here.
Yeah, and every player really can expect that that brush or the area around that brush was warded. Xmithie pretty much knew he was spotted, and Soaz would never played aggressively without Xmithie being there. And either way, like, they all had perfect information. Like, they knew the ward was there, and the ward obviously saw Xmithie. So everyone played that out pretty much optimally for the information they had. And at the end of the day, it's just going to be the wave being collected up by Soaz. Best he can in the turret, but really decent damage here.
He might go for... He's thinking about trying to kill threat.
Well, the W heal might be enough. That's some nice stabs. Someday is not going to get max range Qs. I don't think he flashed at a turret here, but Soaz is going to have to give up some gold. Nice play by Someday. Yeah, Soaz going to have a hard time here. That's, oh my gosh, you can almost kill him.
He's landing all these Q1s, but now Someday!
In the turret range! The auto attack! You're kidding me! The minions! The minions work for Someday, and Soaz couldn't quite get over the line.
It looked like, we'll have to see in the replay, it looked like Soaz canceled the Fatal Auto. We'll see it. Hopefully we can slow it down a little bit. That was so incredibly close. Every Q1 was landing for Someday, but Soaz did lock him down in a turret. Man, what a close fight.
Whew. I am excited about volatile lanes. You don't get that in Maokai versus Ornn.
Nope.
You get that in Aatrox versus Camille. I appreciate Someday going for it. We'll see if it was a mechanical misplay or not.
Now that his flash teleport is down, the gank can be even more disastrous for that lane, as Meteos just kind of sits up there to make sure that Someday can get this into the turret. He's already got him to half health again.
Yeah.
They could threaten a full dive here.
This is going to go bad to worse really fast. Jat,
okay.
Here we go.
Let's try and watch Soaz's auto attack. So he lands the W, he knows the turret's on him, gets him, but he gets just out of turret range. And then Soaz thought the turret was going to kill, so he was already backing away. When he flashes in, he can't get the next auto off. It's the turret aggro dropping that threw Soaz off.
I think before his backflip Q, he missed the first auto. Like, he went for the attack reset, and I think he hit Q too early. I'm not 100% certain. Ooh. Regardless, I mean, one
he
auto
thought it was a kill for sure.
Yeah.
Because he saw the turret line on him, but Someday just managed to get out of it before the next shot.
And hey, with Conqueror on there, Someday healed with one of the autos as well. Like, just barely the margins were there, and that is advantage Someday. Obviously, nice solo kill and a 20 CS lead. And Jat, you mentioned champ select. You know, this game could be very chaotic. What if it just snowballs? That is the kind of situation where the game can snowball out of control.
I mean, another solo kill for Someday. I think he's already among the leaders in solo kills. A lot of people remember when he solo killed Impact 3 times in the Aatrox Gangplank matchup as the Aatrox earlier in the season. It technically was a solo kill in the top lane just now, so he's already up to 1. And look at that CS discrepancy as well as getting turret plates. I mean, how do you deal with Soaz was one of the questions that was asked on the analyst desk before today. And one of the answers was, like, just allow Someday to go to work. Because then you're not overcommitting resources to Someday. Sometimes that's what Someday actually wants, is he wants you to send 3 people to him because he's so good at being slippery. But if you can make him run for his life in a 1v1, that's just the best case scenario.
And now we've got a Gragas, and Soaz can try to ult around this, gets the ulti off. It's going to be some damage coming across. One of the ults come down, knocked into the wall, but Someday cannot find the weak point until finally the very end. The aggro dodged well, and it's 2-0 Thieves.
And that's the bad to worse we just talked about.
Yep.
They did end up sending assistance, played relatively well by 100 Thieves. Soaz really, with no flash, had no good way of escaping, and that's already 3,500 gold to 2,100 gold. And by the way, he's still farming plates up on top side.
Yeah, this is, as you mentioned, bad to worse. It's going to be the sort of subtitle of this entire game, it feels like, as Someday is going to be taken over here today.
You know what, Freak? They're taking Rift Herald right now because they know Immortals is going over and taking the first Cloud Drake. That's okay. The first Dragon, especially when you were behind, and usually isn't that important. I'm wondering if Meteos intentionally doesn't use this Rift Top because it's too early to stop that laning phase. I feel like Someday wants to stay in this laning phase with SOAS.
No. Sorry.
Did he pick it up? He
Not
picked
yet.
it up, right?
Not yet.
He didn't pick up the
Not yet.
Oh no.
The top lane.
Yeah, it's a dive.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get away from this one, really.
Yeah, so Someday actually has some of his Qs dodged. Tell me Meteos picked up that Rift Herald.
Well, they're delaying it, you know? They're throwing the SOAS phase first.
Dispense.
Dispense. Oh, he does. And it's top lane, by the way.
Okay, I disagree. I understand why you're still injecting him with more gold, but now it's like 9.5 minutes into the game, and there's not a good space for him to go. Dragon was just taken, Rift Herald was just taken. This is actually where SOAS can start catching up in the game because he can hold the minion wave at his second tier turn. Like, freeze the CS right now, right? 86 to 50,
Yep.
roughly. That's a 36 lead. I bet you that's less than a 36 lead at 14 minutes.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, but that's a good call, right? Is let's track it 4 minutes from now. Does it remain plus or minus 35? And that's the question we're going to ask ourselves, and was it worth the cash-in? Because again, keep in mind, right, they are cashing in. It's even more money on the Aatrox recall. He's even farther ahead, theoretically, than if the turret didn't die. But now Cody's going to have to cancel the ulti. He's exhausted. This will be the tongue lash. Not flashed in time, so a second slow lands. Auto means a chomp, and that's going to be a Q into the face, and Hakuho and Apollo back together, get the 2-on-1 kill.
Great Tom Kench ult for the kill. You would like to see that kill go over to the Varus, but can understand it. And yeah, watch Someday. He's actually trying to get to minion wave, but Xmithy's here.
1v2 though. It's going to be probably fine. Pulls him all the way over. The ult combo pushed him away, and Xmithy has to run from the Darken. Someday still going to land some skill shots, still going to get some knockups. That stun barely even hurts. So,
it's one of those games.
It's one of those games, chat.
Where Someday just gets to walk over the opposition. We'll see if he can keep this up, because there's actually been at least 2 games this split where Someday has actually just completely taken over the world. It was the Aatrox game against TL, and it was the Lucian game against Golden Guardians. We'll see if it's one of those games.
Oh, it's Hakuo in a really bad spot. Had to burn the flash for the chase down. That meant it was easy pick afterwards. And Cody's son gets revenge.
Yeah, the injection of gold so far has worked for Someday. The CS did go up to 40 just briefly now. If he could steal jungle, that's kind of the best of both worlds, but Xmithy was just up there. And yeah, he drew Xmithy away right there, so now Hunter Thieves can make him plays elsewhere.
Oh, wow,
That wasn't a good play. They're making it.
Okay, great. You know, they made they made a bad play. I'm trying to think of a bad play. I don't want to make fun of the theater arts. So,
fair.
you know, all art is valid. And now, as the mid turret's getting dropped low, just take it at this point. Based on the game state, Smithy. Just follow every cue. So, mid's under fire.
It's 2,000 gold now. Immortals did just get basically a shutdown kill to get the kill onto Apollo. And Apollo is the point of strength for this Immortals team. The problem is that Immortals' overall plan is to have either the Camille or the LeBlanc split push. And the fact that they're both behind definitely takes away from how capable they'll be.
SOAS tries to fight for a red buff. Yeah, he's got a LeBlanc, but he's in a really bad spot. Red buff might kill him. Someday's gonna do it instead. The CS difference might not be 35, but the kill difference is now 3.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Someday is just taking over this game. They said both soul laners from him. You can't. Like, you just can't go near him for the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, he'll do that, is what it feels like.
Yeah, SOAS, you gotta wave the white flag on that one, dude. Like, I don't think you get to invade Someday in his jungle with his red buff when you're down 2 levels on the fight. You gotta get that one away. CS difference, back up above 35.
Yep.
You know, good job, chat. You called it.
6K to 3.4K.
Close game.
Currently.
Vaguely.
So far, it is top difference, for sure.
Yeah. And that was, solo kill, then one gank, then second solo kill.
Yeah. What's so interesting is, like, I wonder what happens if SOAS doesn't miss that auto. right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Because we said this is a high volatility matchup, and like we're seeing what Someday can do with the lead, but you're also seeing what happens when Camille is behind. Really, the mini wave is pushing against Soaz, so he doesn't feel like there's anything else he can do than just push off this red. But he gets so low, and Aka's level 9, he just can't.
Yeah.
He can't help.
Yeah, what was... I don't know what happened there, but...
It's like, yeah, that was foolish.
Yeah.
Soaz has been there before.
Yeah. That's the kind of play, like, you know, we've all seen that top laner. We call that, you know, everyone knows the name of the player we're thinking of. The top laner who's 0-3 and just goes, Riot, why'd you design Aatrox this way 200 years? And it's like, dog, you're 0-3, just stop.
Well, for what it's worth, that player cam on Soaz didn't look like that to me.
No.
That very much looked like the opposite of that.
I know.
Yeah, my bad.
But we all know that other player
Oh,
who
yeah.
says 200 years all the time.
We know that guy who goes 0-3 and then starts question mark pinging
The jungler.
Smithy for the next 5 minutes. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually want to see now, no bias, Immortals win through Soaz split push, and he just gets tilt-proof, you know?
Yeah.
I just enjoy that. Be that guy. All right, well, Apollo has good money. He's got 20 CS up in the bot lane. Ooh. That's going to feel pretty good. Decent trade down here. Ram was going to hit back, though. Nearly takes down Aka, but I think the clone came down in time to tank the majority of the paddle star damage. He's going to be okay.
That was very fortunate timing for Aka right there. Xmithy trying to make something happen in the one lane that's winning.
Chomp, spit out.
Yep, good clear.
Between Guardian and that W, there's really no damage dealt, but at least the turret is going to stay safe. Someday, wants tier 2 turret.
Yeah, he's just going to finish it and then probably go towards mid lane.
All right. Got him.
And now, because he's done that, the wave doesn't automatically push towards him. Mini waves are a little finicky around 50 minutes, though, because sometimes it's impacted by like which team is winning, so it's not for sure, but it was good to deny as much CS as possible towards that turret.
For sure. 14 gold per caster mini. Might as well just wait a couple seconds. Get that one going through. This could be... Soaz running away. Wise. Good job, Soaz. Second Herald goes over the top side. Media's going to be able to slam that one somewhere else. I don't expect that to go to inhib turret. That seemed quite valuable. Nice red buff steal. Smithy with the bot lane pressure they've got. Got to point out that Immortals are not out of this game. Look, top is catastrophic. We understand that. Jungle CS difference, mid CS difference, but bot lane is winning, and that can be... I mean, that was the Immortals play replacement, right? Is they brought Apollo in last week to try to turn their fates around. They did pick up one win over CLG, looking for win number 2 with this lineup now.
And I think they're going to rift mid right here. You can see Nautilus just reset. As soon as he gets to mid lane, I feel like we're going to see Meteos drop that Rift Herald, and they're going to collapse in it with Aatrox.
I almost hope they can greet it and knock the turret down without losing half of the shell's
and then
health.
get tier 2 with Shelly.
Yeah, like that'd be really exciting. That is like really breaking a game open.
It's possible. I mean, the strength of this 100 Thieves composition is actually in zone control. Like, just move to a spot, and Immortals doesn't have the way of building it. They're doing it exactly smart right here. They'll kill this one, and they can still drop Shelly somewhere else.
Yeah, they brought Someday into the mid lane. There is not a player on this Rift that can challenge a 1v1. I feel like even Baron is like, you know, can I just spawn later in this game? Can it be like 24 minutes? I need time to scale. Unfortunately, that's contractually obligated. Baron Nash is showing up on time every time. But yeah, I want to know where the Herald actually gets summoned, where that 500 gold goes. As Soaz had to kind of take some farm topside. And even with the sort of little bit of a lone time up there, it's still a 40 CS difference.
Yeah. 400 gold bounty accrued by Someday. It is relatively important that he managed to protect that. And as this game progresses, if solo people on Immortals do stop running into Someday, there will be a point where like LeBlanc and Camille can actually win, or at least LeBlanc, Camille, and Lee Sin can actually win. So getting that shutdown will be of utmost importance if Immortals wants to try and come back in this game.
And the scaling continues. We're getting closer and closer to Apollo getting his Rage Blade done. That'll be the first major power spike, and realistically can do decent damage against Aatrox here. Want to point out a very small item interaction. Blade of the Rune King is actually very good against Death's Dance, because as a champion gets lower in health, you do less damage with Blade of the Rune King, the current health damage.
Yeah.
With Death's Dance, you get lower later, but the damage still comes through at the end because the dot tick afterwards. So a on-hit Rune King champion has a very, very, very slight DPS edge against a Death's Dance user, so potentially Apollo can get a kill on a Someday here. Great play there. Good. Does have good single target damage. Stunt now going to be rooted in place. That's going to be the hits coming in. That's the kick backwards. The ward hop away for Xfinity, and that will be a kill picked up. But the re-engage could be deadly. So far, though, not yet. Meteos got a bit low. A couple of individual picks. Immortals are winning everywhere but top lane, kill-wise.
And it was a smart move by Immortals. They knew that the wave was bouncing back in the top lane, that Someday wasn't going to be there, and any time they can fight where Someday's not there, it's probably a good fight for Immortals. It's going to be their best chance of winning.
Let's see if they can do more of that. Late game shot calling, really the name of the game for Immortals, somehow getting back in games where they weren't likely to do so. Someday has ult, has flash. Very likely lives through anything here. And yeah, gets out from the 1v3. Shouldn't be able to land a follow-up there. A quick cat nap for Snorlax.
Yeah, as he's just controlling that side of the jungle, 100 Thieves can go and take the Mountain Drake. That was an interesting moment where obviously Apollo's ultimate had been burned in the previous fight with Varus, but usually when a Tomkins lands a Q, you're like, Varus ult's coming any second. And that would have been, that's the type of thing that they're gonna have to do if they want to kill Someday, is like, hey, he's flexing his lead somewhere, and you just need to bring more people than he expects.
Sometimes you catch him out. There's a decent amount of CC, right?
Yeah.
There is actually pretty good lockdown. Camille ult's really, really reliable. No one can kick her out of that, so you're kind of guaranteed the cage right there. Lee Sin can get a ward hop. Blanc has some chains. Varus ult's pretty good. Top guys can follow up. I wouldn't say he's like the catch champion in most cases, but absolutely, if you surprise Someday, that can be a thing picked up. Of course, that man has so much experience split pushing in the top lane, being the one who gets the resources and carrying from there, that you don't expect many mistakes from him.
Yeah, and 20 minutes in, 2 Drakes for 100 Thieves. Immortals just need to wait. 4,000 gold difference is a lot of 20 minutes. It's very little of 35 minutes. The issue is going to be, we got 9 minutes until Mountain Drake will come in, or rather Mountain Soul can potentially come in for 100 Thieves. And what I see a lot of these teams that are down 5k do is they're actually the ones that are forcing on the teams that are ahead of them. If it works against Stunt, then go for it, but...
He's dead to like the next Q. There's a smite. Don't do it. Yeah. You Q forward, he body slams you away, you never land the ult, you don't get the kill.
That was actually like not a force by Immortals, that was just, hey, they're coming into our territory, fight them back, but don't overcommit. Because if the whole team's there, that's actually how you lose the game. Like, the way 100 Thieves loses the game before there's a 5,000 goal difference fight at 29 minutes is if they overcommit in the jungle for something, and 100 Thieves gets Baron. So, generally speaking, Immortals is very cat and mouse here. And it's actually on 100 Thieves to try and close. Like, they need to get control of the jungle, and they need to find a way to actually crash down and probably kill this mid lane turret next as a way to accelerate the game before these Drakes are spawning.
3 minutes on that Mountain Drake. 8 minutes to Soul. If 100 Thieves can keep that control the whole time. Baron is alive and terrified of what might show up in there. They fight for ward control. Looks like 100 Thieves going to get that one. Eats a bit of poke, but that was a nice anchor forward. Aka has to back away, stays alive. Ward control goes back over. That's a nice route. That could be a kill. There is no flash left, but bullet time could be dangerous as well. Stunt just doesn't go down. There's enough backup from the team. And now Someday's back mid lane. Aka cannot find that kill, but Apollo sure can. And that's another pickup, though. Ryoma gets revenge for his support, and yet again, mid lane is pushed away. Whoa. What a play! Ryoma over the wall finds a double kill, and suddenly mid lane is in shambles.
That's max flash distance from Ryoma there with the stolen flash. Now they're drowsy. Oh, they got time kick.
Gonna be okay, but that is a big wake-up play. Ryoma had one lane over against Aka, up in gold, up plates the whole time, up in CS, and then really heroic plays down here in the mid lane, and that was a battle where Someday wasn't actually the reason they got ahead. He didn't attack a single enemy champion in the more or less 4-on-4. That was 100 Thieves winning.
Yeah, it's this really close fight that's happening where Stunt is actually getting caught out of position, going very low, and that's kind of pulling Immortals more and more towards the fight, but it wasn't until the turnaround from the Zoe that this fight really falls in favor. So, like, watching Stunt here, one of the league leaders in deaths as support, does have a tendency to overextend in skirmishes, right? Everyone focuses him, they kick him back, but then just keep your eyes on Ryoma for the rest of this fight. Stunt, hooks, prevents the first execution, and you think when Apollo flashes that it's over, but he gets it right there. Where does he get this? He picks up the flash off the ground from
Oh my
Varus
gosh,
to get the
so
double.
good. That was actually so sick. Flash forward, then R's back across. That was so well played by Ryoma. Cops the damage done. You can see here, neither top laner was involved, but when there's a 3K gold lead top lane, and that was 80% of the gold lead,
Yeah.
and the top laners weren't why that fight was won, I mean, it just feels so one-sided for 100 Thieves right here. And it turns out, yeah, they are walking away with this one. This should be an easy save. Oh, look, he's fine.
Yep. Picking Zoe into Tahm Kench is more for the picking Zoe into the Blanc, not necessarily thinking about the overall team comp, because it is really hard for Ryoma to find picks in the mid game with that champion. But overall, Freak, it does look like 100 Thieves is on the way to a 2-0 week.
Yeah.
Which would be absolutely huge for them. They have that incredibly close back and forth game against Dignitas yesterday where no one was really happy about it. Like, you
Sure.
saw the team afterwards, you could see the coaching staff walking around, definitely some frustration that the game wasn't cleaner, but you still take those, right? It still counts just the same as a 20-minute 15-kill-0 victory.
Yep.
You don't get bonus points for winning harder. So
That's true.
this is more, I think, a game you would be happy with if they're able to close this out cleanly. Your top laner has a big showcase. Someday totally takes over the early game. But then from there, the rest of the team has successfully been able to accelerate. Now, 7,000 gold up, 5 minutes until Mountain Soul, 25 minutes into the game.
That feels like about half 100 Thieves wins. Where, like, the rest of the team
Yeah.
goes pretty close to equal. Like, they're fine. They're LCS level. And some days, just like, no, top difference. And then the rest of the game falls around him. And so far, so good. 100 Thieves. The roster is going to be looking at close one there. Almost playoff position. Right now, 7 wins would put them in that spot. As long as they can keep pace with the rest of the field, that's the top 6. We know top 4 is the important part. Also in striking distance for the team. And that'd be hype.
Yeah. They're a little bit out of sync right now. Like, they're doing a lot of poking around in the jungle while Sunday is still setting up in base. If they're not going to go for Baron, they do need to pressure Sunday on one side that's actually drawing resources before going for stuff. It's a little bit risky, actually, what they were doing just now with potential 5v4s in the jungle. But now that Camille's shown, they're just going to try and poke and get these turrets in as much as possible.
Someday, yeah. Full level above, then Ryoma full level above, then a couple of 14s. Cody Sun nearly matching the opposing trolling. Now going for the play, but it's a nice body slam, buying some time. Stunt very tank, but now Aftershock is on cooldown. Not a re-engage to be had, though. Ulti's still down for Apollo. Aka's short cooldown, not a big deal there. So he's just picking up the scraps that he can. And we wait to see when the death knell comes.
Yeah.
Immortals definitely on the back foot, holding on as best they can to their base.
Yeah, they actually don't have to do Baron, but you can tell they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
They're like, we have so much control of this jungle. Maybe we should just start the Baron and see if they fall.
Yeah, he's fine. All right. I'm not sure you ever really target the block with Nautilus R when no one else is around.
Agreed.
Whatever. It's fine. All right. They're scaling.
Yeah, they are probably just in a holding pattern until Mountain Soul, and then they can go for Baron.
Yeah, and I think Mountain Soul actually really removes a lot of link conditions.
Do you have any
Trying to
really
one-shot someone.
interesting 2.5-minute stories?
2.5-minute stories.
As I just
yeah.
ask you out of the blue.
I used to have, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah.
That's also a trick, is like
Yeah.
I create a tangent only to make the game happen,
Only
to make it seem like we're not on topic.
That's true. I used to have a 15-minute stand-up set that Day 9 delivered, memorized.
Wait.
It was about online dating.
You had the set?
Like Day 9 delivered it.
You
like
wrote it
someone
for him?
No.
Okay.
But like someone like linked it, and I was like, wow, it's a really good set. And then I like listened to it so many times, I had the whole entire thing memorized.
Okay, so you watched a stand-up set,
Yes.
and then you I thought you were
have
like
the set
actually
memorized.
had this secret career in stand-up comedy.
No, as you all know, that career would not be very good.
That's why it's secret.
I don't know if unsuccessful is the same as secret. Like, I'm secretly a character artist. Like, no, I'm not. I can't draw.
Yeah, I'm always very impressed by stand-up
That was
comedy.
1 minute, chat.
That was.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. It's the fact that people just get good enough at telling jokes that they can create a through line for like 30 minutes and have it be funny.
So I listen to a lot of stand-up comedy. There is very rarely an actual through line. Here we go, engages there, but a nice stopwatch buys Media some time. Will they re-engage? Apollo finds the snipe, and Hawk was going to go down. Aika cannot find the damage, as now the re-engage can come through. 4-on-4, technically a better kill for Immortals, but all said and done, that is a dead inhibitor in the mid lane. Drake up in 1 minute.
Kind of surprised Immortals tried anything, because we were happily going along and just keeping that gold even, and eventually there was going to be something to Mountain, but they tried and they're punished by losing their inhibitor. And now Hunter Thieves is going to reset before taking Mountain Soul and then probably Baron. That's the next steps.
Yeah, that is very likely, and we're 38 seconds away from that Drake spawning, and we will see if Immortals can manage a team fight there.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
So basically, the reason they do this is because Sumday's still in bot lane, and they see a temporary fight. So like Soaz is trying to make something happen, and he does, right? He burns the stopwatch at Meteos and gets killed. It's now been upgraded for Azania's, and it's a 1-for-1 that eventually leads to their inhibitor. But you can see the idea of wanting to make a play happen because they had more people.
And end of the day, I would still say it's a positive trade. You get more XP from killing the level 12 Meteos than Hako 12 as well, don't get me wrong. But, you know, he caught up some farm. So now here's the big play. Immortals going for the Miracle Run on Baron, but guess what? They're going to be spotted out, and they've got to run for the hill. Soaz over the wall. Ryoma looks for the sleep, can't find it. But I appreciate the effort, right? If you can somehow sneak Baron off the Dragon Soul play, that is a potentially game-stalling move. Not going to happen. Mountain Soul going to be cleanly picked up, and Immortals have run out of options.
Yeah, there was no way that Immortals was going to win a 5v5 at Mountain Soul or at Baron. So, as you mentioned, good effort. Peeling for a fight, even in a 5v4, probably would have been a losing attempt, but Immortals just takes the low risk, and they're hoping now that Soaz can try and break the game open. Notice how he's splitting right now just to try and get a little bit of individual gold for himself.
Yep.
And since Hunter Thieves doesn't have Baron, Immortals would like to hold this inhibitor, or at least force a difficult dive that Soaz could eventually collapse on. That's the thought.
That poke means almost nothing, though. It only breaks the Mountain Shield bot, and inhibitor's gone. There's an engage by Someday. That's going to be Hakuo pulled right back in. Can Immortals fight back? They get the root, but it's not enough damage to do absolutely anything. And this is cursory damage. It's barely a scratch on the paint. Hunter Thieves easily siege down the bottom inhibitor.
Yeah, and this game has a lot of structure. Freak. We talked at the start of the game about how Immortals and Soaz thrive in games that have low amounts of structure when it is chaos. But Hunter Thieves have been very controlled since Someday got that lead, and they're not even going for Baron. I mean, if this turret's going to allow itself to keep getting hit, they're just going to try and end.
And they don't need it. It's as far as they can tell, the turret's going to drop instead. One single Nexus turret is left, as middle and bottom inhibitors are dead, and the next waves are pushing in right now. A quick jump away for Xmithy, but this could be the last push. Big! Paddlestar's gonna land. Explosive cast to the backline. That could be the engage they need. Someday's in the backline. Gonna pick up one in a second as well. Soaz can only run away. Goes the stun. Not gonna matter. Another double kill for Ryoma. And 100 Thieves get a 2-0 weekend. Taking down Immortals.
Such an important week for 100 Thieves to succeed. And they improve from day to day. This win was so much better than their win yesterday. And from start to finish, Someday got that lead. We talked about how the team compositions would interact. And since the way that Immortals would win is if Soaz pops off and Aka can start split pushing, the fact that Someday just removed that possibility 4 minutes into the game is why this was so one-sided.
Yep, this is Someday's third deathless win. If he doesn't die, if he wins his lane, it's gonna be over. He popped off on Lucian. We had the Aatrox game we talked about a while ago against Liquid. Another Aatrox game here against Immortals where he completely takes over the game, and that just completely shuts everything down. So well done, 100 Thieves. 7-7 is gonna close out their